Countries need the capacity to invest ahead of disruption, not after. Multilateral development banks must be ready to deploy more quickly and work closely with countries to support the investments and build resilience. We are ready to work with all partners to meet this common challenge and to help sustain an open, predictable global economy that gives our people a fair chance to thrive. Thank you again.
Thank you, Prime Minister. It now gives me pleasure to ask His Excellency Dr. Pedro Sánchez Pérez Castillon, the President of the Government of Spain, to take the floor.
Thank you for giving me the floor, President Ramaphosa, my dear friend, and allow me to congratulate you for the adoption of the declaration. We meet at a moment of deep uncertainty for the global economy, for sustainable development, and for multilateralism. Earlier this week, a Spanish think tank reported that more than 22 million people could die all over the world by 2030 due to cuts in official development assistance. Those figures are truly horrifying and only one example of the tragic, real-world consequences of the trends we are witnessing. Yet, as we have also seen this year, when we choose cooperation over fragmentation, progress is possible. The fourth International Conference on Financing for Development held in Spain was a powerful reminder of that. Their countries endorsed the Compromiso de Sevilla and launched the Seville Platform for Action with more than 100 concrete initiatives to implement our joint commitments. Not just words and wishes, but tangible actions that will make a real difference on the ground. Among them, there are 3 initiatives led by Spain that respond to one of the great challenges of our time: debt sustainability. They are the Global Hub for Debt Swaps, the Debt Post-Close Alliance, and the Sevilla Forum on Debt. These are 3 very pragmatic tools born out of real-world constraints that can really help rebuild trust in international cooperation and solve the burden of debt in developing countries. But financing alone is not enough. Trade disruptions, fragmentation of supply chains, and rising protectionism are eroding the foundation of global growth, and they need to be urgently tackled. Let me be clear, tariffs are not a weapon, they are a barrier. Yes, industrial overcapacity and unfair competitions are real challenges, both for advanced and developing countries, but responding to them with tariffs leads only to collective defeat. This is why it is more urgent than ever to strengthen the multilateral trading system, restore the central role of the World Trade Organization, and update it for the world we live in. Inequality must also be at the center of our agenda. The Stiglitz report, commissioned under South Africa's G20 presidency, has delivered a stark warning. We face an inequality emergency just as severe and systemic as the climate emergency. Extreme concentration of wealth undermines growth, corrodes democratic institutions, and fuels polarization. Addressing this requires fair international taxation. The progress the G20 has achieved on global tax reform cannot be allowed to unravel. We need tax rules fit for the 21st century. Colleagues, allow me to finish with a reminder. Inclusive and sustainable development is impossible without peace. We must stand by the principles of the UN Charter, everyone, everywhere, at all times, be it in Ukraine or in Palestine. This means defending sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity, and ensuring strict compliance with international humanitarian law. Without peace, without respect for multilateral rules, our efforts on trade, development, and inequality won't succeed. Spain remains committed to working with all of you to ensure that the G20 strengthens cooperation, protects the most vulnerable, and leaves no one behind. And I thank you.
Thank you, my good friend, President Sánchez, I now call upon Her Excellency Dr.